Coming to the green in the Ford 400 at the Homestead-Miami Speedway. NASCAR on NBC with coverage of the final race of 2003. Bill Elliott, Jeremy Mayfield, and Ray Evernham's Dodges are running 1-2, followed by Johnny Benson, Rusty Wallace, and Kevin Harvick. 34 cars on the lap.
Steve parked at AOL, Carl Labottom, a lap down to the leaders, trying to race along.
Mark is running in 35th place, and Jimmy Spencer.
Close.
Oh, hello.
That was close.
And for the lead, Mayfield on his teammate Elliott.
I didn't think Mayfield was going to sit back there long.
But here comes Bill back.
Let's stack up.
Ray Evernham's worst nightmare is if those two guys collide with each other. If one of them breaks loose, running first and second. Just remember, we couldn't see this kind of racing at this speedway a year ago. What a great job they've done rebuilding this place in such a short period of time.
And we got
one in the wall, Mike Skinner.
That's Michael Waltrip's car. He might have just gotten loose off turn 4. Don't know. No caution flag.
Yellow's not out yet.
NASCAR race control communications. The spotters around the racetrack are saying everything's clear, no debris. Now they're looking at the backstretch. And we stay under green. Third place, Rusty Wallace working over Johnny Benson. Mayfield and Elliott have settled it out with Mayfield leading for now.
We can see what might have happened to Mike Skinner as he exited turn 4.
Whoa.
Oh, just got high and got it loose, and the back caught and the front said bam.
I'm not sure the 38 car maybe didn't take some air off that spoiler, VP.
This is Jimmy Johnson.
One up against the wall here. One up against the wall. One up against the wall. No caution. No caution. Outside.
That was close.
Now, I'll tell you what, those spotters, they work nonstop, don't they?
Always nice to have good brakes on the car.
Yes.
Remember, Jimmy Johnson is back on the lead lap after that last caution flag. So he's trying to come back from the tail end of the field. Got more on Mike Skinner, Marty?
Yeah, they said he just got loose, and guess who just showed up at his pit right before he wrecked?
Michael Waltrip.
Michael Waltrip, the team owner. He said, I'm just bad luck today. I'm going to go home.
All right.
He may be going home by himself.
New leader. Bill Elliott back around Jeremy Mayfield. Jimmy Johnson and Dale Earnhardt Jr. Remember the two drivers racing for second in the final championship standings.
Back in the 23rd position.
At one point it looked pretty bleak for the 48 team, but now it's looking much better.
Now we can see that he now has regained the second position as they run in the point standings.
And he's turning that engine.
You heard the engine go.
Yeah, I mean,
on the rev limiter.
He is turning that thing.
Yep.
Talking about the Hendrick cars, a 48-24 turning about 9,500 RPM.
Wow. Speaking of rallies, Tony Stewart about to take 6th place from Jimmy Johnson. Matt, he's gone to the back of the pack now, what, twice and come back through?
Ray Evernham's biggest worry isn't about who's going to win between the 9 or 19. It's about who sits back in 7th. Tony Stewart. What a rally. 40th, all the way almost inside the top 5. They made an air pressure adjustment and a wedge adjustment on that last stop to fix that tight condition. And to update you on what that big hole was in the nose of that Chevrolet, someone's coil spring went through the nose and out the bottom. 4 pieces of aluminum on the front, and he is working his way back to the front. He's got a reservation up there, Alan.
Well, the coil spring must have been out of the 12 or 97.
That was from the accident back at lap 5.
Tony goes by Spencer, and here we see Harvick trying to get by the 10 car. That's 3rd spot.
Speaking of the accident at lap 5, Kevin Harvick sliding up into Ryan Newman, who then caught Kurt Busch, but Harvick got away pretty much unscathed. He went to the back, has come back up through, now just taking 3rd place.
And these guys are going at it. Todd Bodine, Jimmy Spencer, Biffle, and then here goes Mark Martin on the inside of Biffle.
6th and 16 will be for 9th place there, Wally. And more of a little hornet's nest farther back. Jimmy Johnson, the 48, trying to come up through. Now, Dave, earlier I said I thought the engine in the 99 sounded sour. Apparently, that's not the case.
That was actually a pretty good guess because they were falling back so far. In fact, lost a lap. On a pit stop earlier, I think it was the lap 30 pit stop, Jeff came in and they made changes to the car, took off the tires, realized he had a right rear tire going down. The car was very, very loose. So they made adjustments and sent him back out. Unfortunately, they then discovered the tire was down. They had to come back in, lose a little track position, and take the adjustments back out as he moves forward.
And on that caution where he discovered the tire was down, he was the lucky dog. So he got right back on the lead lap, and they fixed their problems, and off he goes. Rusty Wallace by Johnny Benson for 4th. How about JB, Bill?
Yeah, the 10 just a little too tight. Benson in on the radio a lap or 2 ago. Car's just a little bit too tight, so we let Rusty go.
Long way to go still. No need to get in a hurry. Just coming up on 150 miles here in the Ford 400. Ray Evernham's Dodges running 1 and 2. It's Bill Elliott looking for back-to-back wins to end 2003. He leads. You're watching NASCAR on NBC.
NBC's coverage of the Ford 400 is brought to you by Discover to Go. It pays to discover. By Mountain Dew, the people who brought you Mountain Dew. By Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Call 1-800-RENT-A-CAR. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up. And by Wendy's new home-style chicken strips. Another reason it's better here.
Yeah, it's better here. That's a good description of the way the racing's been today at the new Homestead-Miami Speedway after its $10 million makeover that brought these turns from their flat 6-degree banks up to the 19 and 20 degrees we see today. Phenomenal racing so far. Bill Elliott's out in front. Lots of action all through the pack. This is back for about 20th place. Tony Raines, Dale Jr., Jeff Burton, Terry Labonte. How about 74, Bill?
He's had a good day, Alan. On their last pit stop, they had a tire get away and rolled across pit road, hit the wall. They were sent to the end of the longest line, restarted in 22nd, worked his way up to about 18th or so. Then a couple of faster guys caught him, so he slipped on back. But another pit stop, they could have another strong finish here today.
Yeah, career best finish last Sunday at Rockingham. Tony Raines finished 6th. And entering this final race of the season, another team still not sure exactly what lies ahead.
Sure, they got people looking at them probably for next year. They're saying, hey, watch this race. We'd like to have your company on the side of our car. So, yeah, this is an important race for a lot of teams. Todd Bodine, I think, is another one. Their team does not have a sponsor for next year.
Yep.
And he's running very well.
Jeff Burton, the 99 car, if sponsorship has not been announced.
Talking about things ahead for 2004 and some of the teams. How about 2003? It's been a year, not only the action on the track, but of major headlines off the track. And here's what I want to know from you today. Our Singular Wireless Race Talk poll, I gathered up what I consider to be 4 of some of the top headlines in the sport this year. The Winston to Nextel situation. Racing, but back to the caution being eliminated. Matt Kenseth's championship or the transition of power from Bill France Jr. to Brian France. What do you think the top headline in NASCAR Winston Cup racing has been 2003? Give us your votes. We'll see what you think later on in the show.
Rusty Wallace has taken over that 3rd position from Mayfield. And here comes Tony Stewart.
So impressive in that 20 car. Of course, Tony's been impressive here on the old Homestead, winning 2 of the 4 races that have been held here. But today he's gone to the back of the pack twice, and he's come back up now into the top 5. Matt?
But he wasn't so sure how this new Homestead Speedway would actually be. Back in July while diving down in Key Largo, he was waiting before he could actually fly, so he snuck into the racetrack at about 11:30, busted by a security guard. But when he actually showed his driver's license to prove he was indeed Tony Stewart, the guard let him drive around the apron. He was kind of dissecting the racetrack and what setup he would actually need when he came came back, thought it might be kind of like a Kansas, Charlotte, Atlanta. But when he got back here, he said, man, this racetrack is going to be awesome. We are going to do well here, and he is.
Matt, is his car a little bit tight right now, too?
Actually, Wally, he's reporting to Greg Zibinelli, the car is just a little bit free on entry. They're going to work on that on their next stop.
And you can see Sun already being a problem as they go down the front stretch driving in turn 1. And that's exactly what you're seeing is what they're seeing. I noticed a lot of the drivers have put a lot of tape on the top of their windshields trying to keep that sun out of their eyes.
What was it like for you yesterday, Wal?
It wasn't too bad. I mean, a lot of guys run dark visors, and but like BP said, there's a lot of guys that did put some tape on the top of the windshield. We didn't, but I run a real dark visor, so it wasn't too bad.
Now look at this view and think about the fact that you're doing 180-something miles an hour right there, and you know you got to let off for the turn.
And you know that there's another car in front of you, but you just don't know exactly where.
Tony Stewart's defense of his NASCAR Winston Cup Series championship, 2 wins, Pocono in the second Charlotte race, but 5 races that he's failed to finish hurt his chances to repeat as titleist. Bill Elliott out in front looking for back-to-back wins to end 2003. We're just past the 150-mile mark of the Ford 400.